Welcome back to another episode of NBA Playoff Watch. Today we got episode 12, and today we're going to be talking about all the crazy playoff scenarios because the regular season ends in just a couple of days now. We're going to try to get probably one more episode later in the week, but I did want to get one out today to make sure we take a look at the standings because the Western Conference is absolutely ridiculous, and there is still some shifting in the East, but it's pretty much set in stone what's going to happen. Real quick before we get started, make sure you subscribe if you're new. We do college basketball, college football, NFL, NBA, and MLB, so if any of that interests you, make sure you go down there, subscribe. Let's go ahead and get into the Eastern Conference play-in, so I'll help you out with the colors. Red means eliminated, yellow means you're clinched for the play-in, green means you've clinched a playoff spot, not a play-in spot. And then the white is you clinch the top seed. And as you can see, the East is just pretty straightforward. I'm really not going to talk about much of the teams that aren't in the playoffs. I mean, all the eliminated teams, I guess we could say the 76ers shut everyone down, but that was a couple days back. I think it was probably like a week old now. Yeah, all those teams. The Hornets, I had finishing as the 10 seed in the East preseason. That was probably my biggest miss. That was not a great prediction there. But yeah, I mean, the Hawks, Bulls, Heat, feels like they're always in the play-in every year. They are going to be once again. We'll see how the standings shape out. Who's going to get the 8, 9, 10? Because it is still pretty close. Only one game difference between those three teams. The Magic look like they're pretty set in stone in at the 7, unless they could move. I guess they only got 3 games left, and they got a 2-game lead over the Hawks there. The Cavs have clinched the 1 seed officially over the Celtics. Good for the Cavs, man. 60-plus win season. They have been absolutely ridiculous this year. Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, just the whole team. I mean, they have a roster. Same with the Celtics, just a great team. They're probably going to get 60 wins as well. So good for them, to the defending champs. I expected them to have, once again, a very good season. They brought everyone back from last year. The Knicks, really good season as well. Jalen Brunson's looking like they're going to get the 3 seed. I guess they could technically fall to the 4 seed, but I think they'll hang on to the 3 seed. I think Jalen Brunson, Cat, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, all those guys have been playing amazing. OG Anunoby. The Pacers, as the 4 seed, it's looking like they're going to stay as the 4 seed. They got a 3-game lead over the Bucks. There was a good portion where the Pistons, Bucks were all kind of fighting for that 4, 5, 6 range. Now it's kind of built in some separation a little bit, and the Pacers have actually won 5 in a row. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games. They have been hot, but speaking of teams being hot, so have the Bucks. They've also won 5 in a row. They've been very solid as of late. Giannis has been doing his thing. He's had like a bunch of triple doubles. I feel like recently. I feel like every time I get a notification, oh, Giannis got another triple double. I mean, it's pretty crazy. He is absolutely ridiculous, and nobody talks about him. But like that dude is still like easily top 3 of the league behind Jokic and SGA, and he's probably 3. I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like people don't talk about him as much as they should because that dude is ridiculous. The Pistons, we've been praising them on past episodes. I'm going to continue to do so, man. They just turned it around. They had a crazy good turnaround season, and yeah, good for them getting into the postseason. They're probably going to get the 6 seed. They could move up to the 5. The Bucks end up losing, but the Bucks have been really hot as of recently, really solid. I don't think the Pistons will move up, and they just mathematically can't drop down any farther. So I think they'll probably go ahead and be locked in as a 6 seed. So the East, like I said, the East always is pretty straightforward. The East just ultimately isn't as good as the West, and that's just the reality. Let's look at the West now. There's a whole lot less color. I think you noticed that just right off the bat. We'll touch on the eliminated teams real quick. Spurs, unfortunate, Wemby out for the year. But we've known this for some time. Stephon Castle is probably going to win Rookie of the Year, so good for him. Let's talk about some of the bottom tier play-in teams before we get to the top. The Suns, man, 3 games out of the play-in. I mean, it just looks like this team gave up. It's crazy to me that a Devin Booker and Kevin Durant led team are behind a Mavericks team who has AD's barely played, Kyrie's out for the season. They're 3 games back. I mean, this team has really just given up. It feels like every time I see a Suns game, it's not entertaining. Kevin Durant's going to leave this offseason, it sounds like. I don't really blame him. I mean, they're just not doing great. But yeah, I mean, this team it just feels like they've given up. The crunch time of the season, the time where they're trying to fight to get in the play-in, and they've lost 7 games in a row. I mean, it's just bad over there in Phoenix. So it looks like the Mavericks will get the 10 seed. All that needs to happen is they need to win one of their last three, or the Suns need to lose one of their last three games. So it's pretty locked in that the Mavericks will get into the play-in. The Kings, of all the craziness in the West, the Kings have actually clinched a play-in berth, so they cannot get up to the 6 seed. They also can't drop out of the play-in. So I guess the Kings, we got them there. The Thunder have clinched the top seed in the West, but they have for a little bit. They got a 13-game lead over second place. Speaking of second place, that is going to be the Rockets, and the Rockets have officially clinched the number 2 seed in the West. Good for the Rockets, man. Nobody's talking about them, but they've won 52 games. There's a chance they could win 55 games if they win out. That is ridiculous. Shout out to all those guys over there. Amen Thompson has been ridiculous. Jalen Green, Alfred Sengun, Fred Van Vliet, Jabari Smith, Tari Eason. It's just a fun team. It's a really good team. I love this Rockets team. Nobody's talking about them again. I want to give them their props. They've been playing amazing. They just beat the Warriors pretty recently. They also just beat the Thunder pretty recently. So shout out to the Rockets, man. They're doing their thing. Now we get to the crazy part. And as you can see, the 3 seed in the West and the 8 seed in the West, there's only a 2-game difference in between those two teams. I really couldn't tell you what's going to happen here. Last episode, I believe the Grizzlies were the 5 seed, the Nuggets were the 3 seed, the Clippers were the 8 seed, and now it's just all over the place again. I mean, look at this, 4, 5, 6, and 7 all have the same exact record, so the Grizzlies end up getting the short end of the stick. The Clippers, with this tiebreaker, somehow are ahead of all of these teams. I would argue they're probably the worst of these 4 teams, and arguably, I mean, in my opinion, they're probably the worst out of the 6 teams here that have not clinched yet. That is, I'm referring to seeds 3 through 8. But I mean, and they're at the 4 seed. I mean, it's crazy stuff what's going on. The Nuggets just fired their coach, by the way. What is that? I don't know. I'm actually speechless. When I saw that, I was just absolutely baffled. I don't know what they're thinking. I mean, they fired their GM too. Now I'm hearing Jokic. The Lakers are like the favorite to land Jokic, be Jokic's next team. That's ridiculous. Jokic, Luka, and LeBron. Could you imagine? How do you even guard that? I mean, it's just ridiculous. Seriously, those are probably 3 of. You could argue they're the 3 most skilled offensive players in the league. I mean, I would say they're probably not, but Jokic for sure is number 1. Luka, he's not been too crazy on the Lakers so far, but on the Mavericks, he was definitely, I would argue, the second best, maybe third best player in the league. And then LeBron is LeBron. You can't dismiss that. Could you imagine? I mean, that's ridiculous. But yeah, the Nuggets firing their coach just doesn't make any sense to me. You won the championship 2 years ago. Something's got to be going on there. I don't know. But the Grizzlies did the same thing. And why are the teams doing this weeks before the playoffs? The Nuggets did it a week before the playoffs. I just don't understand it. I don't like it at all. Now the Nuggets have lost 4 in a row. This is not the time you want to be losing. The Clippers have won 5 in a row, so good for them, man. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games. Clippers, man, it's crazy to me. The Clippers could end up as the 3 seed. I mean, it's actually ridiculous. The Lakers are the 3 seed right now. They got a 1-game cushion, so they're in a good spot. They need to take care of business. Let's see who they have left. They have the Mavericks, the Rockets, and the Trailblazers. So not too bad, not too easy. They should beat the Trailblazers. They should beat the Mavericks. The Rockets game will be tough. But, I mean, the Rockets really aren't playing for anything, and the Lakers get it at home. So I could see the Lakers ending up as the 3 seed pretty easily here. Let's look at the Clippers, who they've got left. They've got the Rockets, the Kings, and the Warriors. So those are 3 pretty tough games. We'll see how they go there. The Nuggets have the Kings, Grizzlies, and Rockets. That's not easy at all. The Warriors have the Spurs, the Trailblazers, and the Clippers. That is pretty favorable. The Warriors could end up getting up towards that 4-3 seed area. They should pretty easily beat the Spurs and the Trailblazers. The Clippers game will be tough, but that is the season closer for them. The Grizzlies left have the Timberwolves, Nuggets, and Mavericks. So that's pretty tough. You play two of the teams you're competing for. We'll see. They really control their own destiny there. And the Timberwolves play the Grizzlies, the Nets, and the Jazz. They should easily beat the Nets and the Jazz. The Grizzlies game is huge. That game's going to be tomorrow on TNT. You're going to want to tune in to that game. That is a huge game. But the Timberwolves are in a good spot. So what I'm seeing, favorable schedules. Timberwolves have a favorable schedule. The Warriors do as well. And I think the Lakers should be able to get that 3 seed. But the rest of that, I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you never know with the West. The West is just ridiculous. With all this standings, nonsense going on, we're going to get our playoff bracket very soon. But as of right now, these are how the standings are going to be played out. So we're going to make our predictions, starting off in the bottom left with the Western Conference, playing the Grizzlies versus the Timberwolves. Both these teams are very fun. Ja Morant versus Anthony Edwards. I would love to see it. I was really back and forth on this one. I ended up going with the Grizzlies. I think they are overall the better team. I think they have the better defense. I think that gets them through in a one-game set. But Anthony Edwards is definitely capable of winning a winner-go-home game. It's not really a winner-go-home game, but a one-game, win one game. Anthony Edwards, the best player in the series. I think that's fair to say, or in the game. The Timberwolves could definitely win that. And obviously with the Grizzlies firing their coach, and all the drama going around with Ja Morant. The Grizzlies are also 4-6 in the last 10. But they have won 3 in a row. I'm going to take the Grizzlies. The Kings, Mavericks, I am going to take the Kings. I just think they have enough, but I don't like all the locker room nonsense. But the Mavericks are just so beat up. So I'm going to take the Kings. But I'm going to take the Timberwolves to get that 8 seed pretty easily there. I just think they're much better. I think the top 8 teams in the West, I think the Thunder are kind of above. But, even the Rockets, you can throw them in there. The 2 seed through the 8 seed are just much better than the rest of the West, which is weird because usually the West is pretty deep. But, the Kings and the Mavericks just don't worry me too much. So I'm going to take the Timberwolves. In the East playing, it's a little bit, lackluster. There's only 6 teams with a winning record in the East. But these teams are all pretty close together. I'm going to take the Magic over the Hawks. I just think their defense is good enough to win them a game. But they are pretty beat up. But, so are the Hawks. The Bulls Heat, I've taken the Heat almost every time against the Bulls. I'm going to switch it up this time around. I'm going to take the Bulls. I think, their three-point shooting can get them through. The Heat have a very good defense, but the Bulls have a solid offense. And like I said, they shoot the three pretty well. They actually average, they're actually third in points per game in the East, only behind the Cavs and the Hawks. So this sets up a pretty fun offensive matchup. I feel like when these two teams play, it's always close. But I'm going to take the Bulls. I'm a Bulls fan. You can call me biased, but I'll take them to get to the 8 seed. I usually don't do that. It's usually the Heat or the Hawks ending up as that 8 seed. I'll take the Bulls. I'll switch it up this time. In honesty, I don't think it really matters who comes out. I think the Cavs will have a field day with whoever they get. If I'm being honest, I don't want to spoil, but, I think that's pretty obvious. But the Thunder Timberwolves, man. You get the 1 seed in the way. You go 65-14. You could potentially win 68 games, and you're gonna have to play the Timberwolves, who are 13 games above 500. Could get close to 50 wins on the season if they win out, and are led by Anthony Edwards, who's one of the top I believe the second highest scorer behind SGA in the league this year. So that's not a favorable matchup. I'm going to take the Thunder, though. I think they have enough. I think, besides Anthony Edwards, I worry about how this team can score sometimes, and I think the Thunder just have enough. Just too much depth. I think they get it done. The Clippers versus Nuggets, like I said, I think the Clippers are kind of overperforming just based off how their roster looks. You look at the teams that are around, the Lakers, the Nuggets, the Warriors, the Grizzlies, the Timberwolves. I think you could argue the Clippers are the worst of all those teams. So I'm going to take the Nuggets. I think Jokic has enough. But with them firing their coach, man, they're 3-7 in their last 10. They're not looking great right now. I'm going to take them just because they have Jokic, Jamal Murray, and those guys know how to win. But without a coach, that's rough. I just don't know why you do that at this point in the season. This would be a great series. LeBron versus Curry one last time. I feel like we say this every time they play. One last time, and then they always find a way to match up again. But here we go, man. LeBron versus Curry. Luka versus Jimmy Butler would be a great series. But I think the difference maker is actually Austin Reeves. I think the Lakers have a little bit too many pieces here, and I think they get it done over the Warriors. Jimmy Butler has been an amazing addition for the Warriors team, but I think the Lakers are overall better, and I think they're more complete, so I'm going to take them. The big man problem, it's not really a concern against the Warriors because their big man is Draymond Green at times. I know they have Kuminga's back. I believe he's back, and they got guys, but I think the Lakers, JJ Redick wins his first playoff series as a head coach. The Rockets versus Grizzlies. As much as I love to praise the Rockets, I don't know. They lack the experience. The Dillon Brooks revenge game. I think the Grizzlies get it done. I know all the drama because they also fired their coach. Again, don't understand that. I don't know why you do that at this point in the season, but I am going to take the Grizzlies to move on over the Rockets. I just think they're better, in all honesty. I think that's fair to say. I just think they're the better team. The Cavs versus Bulls, I kind of spoiled this, but I'm going to take the Cavs pretty easy. I don't see it. I don't see it for the Bulls. Maybe they can win a game, but the Cavs, the Bulls' strength is offense, and the Cavs are maybe the best offensive team in the league. So I'm going to take the Cavs, and I think Evan Mobley is just going to have a field day with Vooch down there. The Pacers versus Bucks, two teams on a 5-game winning streak. This would be a great series, and I think we're going to get it in the first round. It's going to be a fun one. I could see this going all 7 games. I'm going to take the Bucks just because of Giannis, but come playoff time, don't be surprised if I take the Pacers. As of right now, I'm going to go with the Bucks, but I think the Pacers could very easily win this. And like I said, we're probably going to see this as the 4-5 in the East. And just keep in mind, don't be shocked if I switch this and go Pacers come playoff time. I don't know who I'm going to take here. I'm going to take the Bucks right now just because I have been taking them more over the course of the season. The Knicks Pistons, I love the Pistons, but I got to go with the Knicks. They just have too much for them. The Pistons lack the experience, kind of similar with the Rockets, but it's good for them to get here. The Celtics should have no problems with the Magic. The Magic are just beat up. They don't have enough offensively to keep up. I don't think their defense can carry them enough over the defending champs. Moving back, though, to the Western Conference semifinals, the Thunder versus the Nuggets. So you get the 1 seed in the West, and you have to play Anthony Edwards, and then you have to play Nikola Jokic in the second round. And then you're going to maybe have to play a Grizzlies team or a Lakers team with LeBron and Luka. It's a crazy path as the 1 seed. You should never be playing this many good teams as the 1 seed, but that's just how the Western Conference is. I do think the Thunder get past the battle of the MVPs. I've seen this. I've taken the Nuggets at times this season, but I think the Thunder as of right now are playing better. The Nuggets are just cold, man. They're just cold. They're 3-7 in their last 10. The Thunder have been ridiculous all season. They could very easily. They have 3 games left. They could finish 68-14. That is ridiculous. That is 5 games away from the best record of all time. It is crazy how good they've been all season. I'm going to take the Thunder over the Nuggets. There's a reason there's an 18-game difference. It doesn't feel like that, but the Thunder are 18 games ahead of the Nuggets in the standings right now. It's crazy. I'm going to take the Thunder. The Lakers versus Grizzlies. This would be a very fun series. We saw this. When did we see this? We saw this at some point in the playoffs pretty recently. I believe the Lakers did win. And I think it was the Grizzlies were the 2 seed, the Lakers were the 7 seed, if I'm not mistaken. Now it's the 3 seed versus the 7 seed, so kind of flipperoo. I'm going to take the Lakers to win again. I just think they match up good against the Grizzlies. I feel like every time they play, they do pretty well. LeBron's been playing amazing as always. Austin Reeves just doesn't get the credit. He's going to be an all-star next year. I'm telling you right now, that dude is so good, and JJ Redick just has them playing at a ridiculous level right now. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Lakers. They get the home court advantage as well, and LeBron and Luka together is just in a playoff series. I am so interested to see how far this Lakers team can go because I really think this, LeBron could, actually get to the finals, and, he could he could win it all. He could get his 5th ring, which is crazy, but we'll see. I'm going to take him to the Western Conference Finals, and I don't want to get too ahead of myself. Back over to the East, the Cavs and the Bucks. Donovan Mitchell versus Giannis. I do think the Cavs have too much. I don't know if Dame is back. I'm not sure. I know he had the blood clot thing. I'm not sure if he's back in the lineup yet. I don't think he is. I'm not sure if we gotta just take what we're given right now. As of right now, Dame wouldn't be playing, so it's pretty hard for me to take the Bucks without Dame. So I'm going to take the Cavs in this one. I just think offensively, defensively, they're too sound everywhere. I think I like the Cavs to the Eastern Conference Finals, and then the Knicks versus the Celtics. Saw a lot of people, a lot of Knicks fans saying, "Oh, once we get bounced by the Celtics in the second round, we can fire Thibodeau, we can hire Malone." Uh, that's just the lack of confidence is crazy. But I think the Celtics will win. I just think they're just too good. They're the defending champs for a reason, and I think the top two teams in the East are, in my opinion, just a league ahead of the rest of the East. The Knicks are very good, but I don't think they're Celtics level quite yet. I'm going to take the Celtics to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Back to the West, the Thunder versus the Lakers, SGA versus LeBron. This would be a ridiculous season. I mean, the young up and coming team versus the experienced team, which it really makes me want to go with the Lakers, but I just can't ignore the Thunder, man. I just can't. I mean, they have a chance. If they win out, they will be 68-14. They will have 68 wins if they win out. And even if they lose out, 65-17 is ridiculous. They're 17 games ahead of the Lakers in the standings. They have been an absolute train all season. Their point differential is plus 12.6. The next closest team is the Cavs at plus 9.9. They're almost 3 points ahead. I mean, that is just ridiculous. The Thunder have been so good. They have one of the best offenses in the league, at least, in metric-wise. Points per game-wise, they're top 4, only behind the Grizzlies, the Nuggets, and the Cavs. And then defensive-wise, I believe they're second in opponent points per game, only behind the Magic. So it really is crazy how good this team is overall, just well-rounded, deep. The only thing that worries me is experience, but I like them to the finals. I just think they're better. The Cavs versus the Celtics. I always go back and forth on this series. I really want to see it in the playoffs because I really think it could go either way. But I'm going to take the Celtics. I think they've done it before, and I just trust it. I want to see the Cavs do it. They could very well do it, but in my prediction, I feel more, safe, more comfortable picking the Celtics. And then in the finals, sets up a Thunder versus Celtics finals. This is what I had preseason. I've taken this finals a lot this year. I'm going to stick with my preseason pick. I'm going to take the Thunder. I know the experience is a problem, but SGA has been so good all season. Jalen Williams, Caruso, just all the guys. Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Hartenstein. Chet Holmgren, Lou Dort is ridiculous. Isaiah Joe, this team is just so stacked and so loaded. And I know the Celtics are too. There's a reason they won it all last year. But I'm going to take the Thunder. I think this would go all 7 games. I really do. But that Thunder home crowd is just, it's ridiculous, especially playoff time. You can't and I know, in the Garden, the Celtics, it's not Madison Square Garden, but I think the Celtics, they could very easily repeat. But it is, I know I'm kind of contradicting myself when I say this. I said it's very easy. They could very easily repeat, but it is very hard to repeat, so let's not forget that. So I'm going to take the Thunder, but this could definitely change come playoff time. We'll see how the bracket plays out and all the standings and scenarios and such. And like I said, we'll try to get one more before playoffs, and then obviously we'll have our play-in. We'll have our playoff predictions. We might do a play-in prediction video. I'm not sure yet. But that is going to do it for episode 12. Like if you made it this far. Comment down below your thoughts, what you think is going to possibly happen in the West, and who are your title picks, I guess, as of right now. Let me know all that. Subscribe if you're new. Turn on the noties. With all that being said, that's going to do it. Hope you guys enjoyed this one.